Hello boys, my name is Coolyoshi and welcome back to my 100% blind playthrough. Well, actually it's not really a blind playthrough, but 100% playthrough of The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword HD. In the last walkthrough, we did a couple of things in our stuff and basically opened our way of our temple. If you're wondering why we're back at the bamboo minigame, well, lots of things have changed. For one, we have more rupees, and two, I have a new strategy for it, and it's even more straightforward. In fact, I didn't know this until now. It's kind of a little late, but exclusive to this game, you can now use button-only controls. For this specific minigame, it actually works better, because it makes it pretty easy. So anyways, if you get that and then go up to the minigame, you can do a really cool strategy where you basically just ice down over and over again, and you can do other stuff. And yes, I did do this a lot, as you can see. So that's why my high score is a little bit different. So anyways, I'm going to put my other stick away, because all you need to do is really just tap it down like this. Or, of course, you can't really see that. Now, sometimes it doesn't work occasionally, but when I tap it fast enough, it can do really good. This is consistent enough to at least give me an item each time, which is nice, and I've gotten multiple evil crystals from this. In fact, this is probably the best way to farm those in the game. So if you ever need materials, you can go here for some of the harder ones. Now you have to hit kind of hard, otherwise the actual effect won't work. It can be kind of trolly. The idea, get 20 or more, and that will at least give you an item. But we're doing this a little bit longer because I want to show the rare rewards, which I'll kind of specifically go over what they are after we do that, but we're just running this game for a little bit. Okay, that was a lot closer. The problem is if you have a delay between one of them, you just lose a lot of the bamboo. But yeah, you can get either monster orbs or evil crystals the first time, and you can get rare treasures the second time. Some of them are really hard to get normally. My basic strategy is to just ignore the screen and look at my stick just to make sure I'm hitting it right. And yes, it's also kind of a mash, so you have to be kind of quick, but also not too quick. It's very easy to mess up accidentally. It's only 10 rupees a play, which is fairly cheap at this point of the game. Okay, there we go. Finally got it. Sometimes I will get this reward like 3 or 4 times in a row. Other times I won't get it. So there you see we got a golden skull as a reward that time. But I want more, so we're gonna try and get another one. Good! That was actually around what I expect to get with this. And a new record. Alright, Bluebird Feather. That's the rare treasure I mentioned earlier. You can get those from the birds, but they have to be blue and nothing else. It's one of the more common rare treasures, but still pretty hard to get nonetheless. Now, if you do accidentally flip up, it'll be crazy. By the way, I only got 28 here. And he still says that is 100, sorry, I've only reached that amount a few times myself. So yeah, you can still get rare treasures, as long as you get 28 or higher. And there's the other one, the Goddess Bloom. So now I'll go ahead and actually show my items, just to prove that I did this. Which involves going to plus and checking this. And as you can see, I got multiple monster horns from this, 8 evil crystals now, and I have gotten 1 golden skull, 2 gratis plumes, and 2 bird feathers off screen, along with the other items. So we now have a lot more treasures than we did before. Sadly, it's still not enough to upgrade, since we still need to do a lot of other stuff, so we're kind of stuck here. We can't really get anything else. Like, we already upgraded our shield, and it won't go any higher until we get other stuff. So now that that's been done, let's go to the pause menu again. Yes, you can use and only controls if you want. And then we press that, and then our regular controls is back. In case you're wondering what you would do normally, I am stabbing like this, by the way. That's actually what you would do if you were on the original version. In fact, if I did it with motion controls, it'd work way better on the Wii, where the original version was, because that actually makes it a lot more crazier. Honestly, though, it's crazy. So, in case you're wondering where I got all those rare treasures, there you go. We will get some more from Jess, but this is just to make sure we have enough to get all of the upgrades as soon as possible. Also farmed some rupees. I went back to, actually, I'm gonna go... I believe this one in particular, I may have something that I'm missing. I may or may not have missed a Goddess Cube here, so I am actually gonna waste some time going back up here to check, just to make sure nothing's missing. Okay, well, it's not this one, obviously. I believe it's, like, closer to the top. It might actually be somewhere else, but I remember seeing it just because of the way I look at the actual area itself. I know, you're probably gonna, everyone's probably gonna yell at me from doing this, but I trust you, there might be something that I'm missing. So now you can actually kind of see the different strategy you can do, because the game mentions a lot of other strategies you can do. This is what I mean, by the way. If you try and go up without using the same shot, then he will just attack you. But there is a way to get through it, and I'll actually kind of show that. First, you trigger his animation going down, and as soon as he gets back, you have to go back up and complete the animation before he actually gets up, and that will allow you to get through stuff. And this allows you to just avoid stuff. I've already killed hundreds of these guys, so there's no point in really killing them again. These are the big slabs I mentioned that would potentially give up to 4 our jelly when defeated. I don't have to defeat a lot of the bokoblins, and most of the time these enemies will just get defeated by the bales that attack. If we stall here long enough, that is. As you can see, they just took out their friends. This one's a bit easier to do because they always will do the attack no matter what, so this is what you would do in a speedrun. I just thought I would show that off, and also I believe my actual cube is located in this corner around this area. I'm just checking to make sure I got it. Oh, I didn't. Sure enough, I did. I was thinking that. Just go ahead and snipe that real quick. There is another one on the left, but I'm pretty sure I've already got that one. If I ever forget anything, I could just go back through all goddess cubes in order, and if I happen to miss any, then I will go back for them. Though I'm pretty sure I got... Oh yeah, see, I think I missed one. Part of the problem is I go for these first areas a little fast. So this one's actually an interesting puzzle. You have to dig the hole and then throw the bomb, so it lands in the thing. That takes it up to the central spot where it'll blow up a builder, revealing the goddess cube. Definitely two of the sneakier ones. I was wondering when there was like very low treasures, by the way. Thankfully there isn't any in the actual dungeon, so the rest of this will just be going for the dungeon as normally. The dungeon does have a really obnoxious puzzle if you don't know what to do. Basically, a lot of the bomb spots in there are hidden, but finally time to go in. So yeah, this first area will be dedicated to, I forget if this is the Earth Temple or Fire Temple, at what it is. I know there's a Fire Temple later, or Fire Sanctuary even, but it is what it is. Also, now that I've technically gone into this area, I feel like I can now officially equip my shield. Part of the reason why I don't equip my shield is just because, well, it's really obnoxious. I hardly use it at all, and it's not really useful. Especially when you accidentally pull it instead of rolling. So it's actually faster to not have your shield out for the first little bit. But then you can make it better later. And yes, I did get healing on the way through, and I also found something else out, which I'll probably just have to show you later. It's not really that bad to show right now. That was quick. This area is probably the area that actually has the most of those bats to farm, because they're pretty easy to farm early on, and there's even some jelly here that you can farm as well. And this is the one I mentioned before, where these will always give a set amount of lines. My partner's gone missing, and those red guys are everywhere. I never should have come here. Oh, it's you again. Come all this way in search of your friend, huh? That reminds me. Before I came in here, I saw a weird-looking blonde girl get dragged away. But don't even dream about the to the rescue. Those baddies are everywhere. If you want to live one day, you should head for home, pal. He's basically telling me to leave. Well, I have a quest. I absolutely cannot leave. In fact, you're actually being a jerk. Very much. That's what it is. I missed this chest the last time, so I'll make sure to grab it this time around. While it's not technically required, I do like to show where all the chests are, and of course get them at the same time. Anyways, we're gonna go over here. Now, if we were doing a rare fight, most of the enemies around here are required. So we have to cut 2 of these things using the regular setups that we normally do. Oh, yeah, that's not gonna work. I don't know why I'm doing that. Use the beetle on this little rope thing right here. Cut it just like you do with the other ones, and the gate opens. I saved this one until last just so you can have the door open at the same time as we do that. And we have our first enemy known as the Lysivos. Master, I'm detecting new enemies up ahead. They appear to be creatures of very significant visibility. Press ZL to target an enemy, then up to call me. I'll then share any data I have on the enemy, which is this. That was close. This unmistakable monster is equipped with an arm guard made of hard iron. Great physical powers make it difficult to protect his wounds. Trace the direction of its arm guard and land an attack on the exposed angle. You can do a lot of battles just doing that, so for some of those regular fights, I'm probably just gonna do that over and over again, even if it seems bad at first, because doing so will cause me to be able to get stuff fairly easily. That's unusual. He usually never spits free. Sometimes he spits one, but that's about it. Ah, it phases out. Cannot kill him. You are able to kill them in the same way, by the way. Okay, so now this is the more interesting thing. Probably the most interesting puzzle in here. Block the bomb with a beetle. Or even a slingshot will probably work too, and that explodes that, causing this ball to go into the fire. That's the first part of this otherwise really obnoxious puzzle we have to do. And now we have that if we go into here and land on top of this enemy. We can actually kill it properly now. That guy will basically tell us that we can't really do anything without the bombs, which we know are located somewhere in the upper right area, so we'll start by entering this area first. He did this troll movement I mentioned before, where they just get out of your rage. He's also about to hit me. And yes, I trigger each one of these just because, well, in case I want to be able to go to a good spot. Nice slime collect. Oh, that's also blocked too. Actually kind of forget what I'm supposed to do then. That being said, I can't go that way. That will be for much later. I keep on pressing the wrong button. It's minus to bring up the map, which is what I want. I guess maybe this guy is required after all, I just don't know. I just realized I should actually check fast. I must have dropped it earlier. Hey, nice to you, pal. It's you, lad. You showed up here. Must mean we've connected, Sal. You know, like fire stepping. Just do me a favor and get my... I was behind that lot looking for the treasure when those creeps stood up. I panicked and hit the road, but it looks like I dropped it. Hey, for carrying out bonfires. I can't imagine not having one. Oh, I guess don't have to imagine it, because I lost it. Anyways, back there. Do me a favor, get my bomb bag back, will you? So it is actually there, but we have to get to a different part of the area first, which is kind of obnoxious. The only thing I can really think about is going here, and that I will have to remember for later, but we can't actually go there right now because the blockade on that side. In fact, it's actually kind of hard to remember where to go. Oh wait, never mind. It was right in front of my face the entire time. Sometimes I feel like every time I miss something like that, but it isn't that bad of a mistake. Just head in here will give me the item I seek. That I will need later. Anyways, pick this up and roll it as so to blow up this SotH, which actually allows us to get our bomb power. Since this is later on, and I'm if we do make a mistake and other stuff, we'll have to redo this hard, so let's not let that happen. Even though I'm probably pretty sure it just saves immediately after all those anyway. Alright, here we go. We have 2 little icicles enemies. This is where we'll actually use our punch. Oh, it goes towards the potion first. Okay, there we go. See, now it'll automatically pull it out. Okay, so I do want my shield for these guys, so... Well, shafts like we did before, but also try and anticipate their movements. If we can get one of them on our own. This is probably the hardest fight in here, and it's not even that hard compared to everything else. Nice, we got 2 lizard tails for both of them. These are pretty easy to collect, though. Because I got that right as I did the thing, it completely canceled the music animation there, and I find that to be a decent fight, especially early on. I feel like that's the best way I got. By the way, don't ask me why. That's just what people do in the speedrun. Instead of anticipating an angle, you just spam that, and that's how you defeat enemies with angles. You just wait until they reveal the right angle, and eventually you'll just hit them after a while. It's especially useful against enemies who block multiple directions, because sometimes they have a habit of shifting multiple times, so it's nice to just hold on to one angle and wait. How's my pal? On as far as I know. Let me take that back. Looks like your friend can count on you, though, right? You risked right and lem to get here. I'm not letting you borrow my bag, though. I'm not giving it to you. Just... Oh, he is giving it to you. Now you got my bomb bag. Go find your friend. I forgot to tell you something. No, I'm a bag's probably up to use a little something to get you scarred. If you run out of bombs, just find some more and fill the bag back up. When you got bomb power, press B to put it in the bag. That bag can hold up to 10 bombs, okay. And this is what actually allows us to complete the second part of the puzzle, which is probably one of the more obnoxious puzzles to get. And yes, I did get the tier 2 of the Iron Shield from before, so we are able to use that again. It'll come in real handy for this section, and we don't have to worry as much about its durability since it has more durability overall. So anyways, just chuck a couple of bombs into this river and that reveals our area. This is where we actually need the bomb bag for, even. It's one of the trollier sections to do correctly, though. And every 15 seconds or so, by the way, you have to move back. Otherwise, you'll just do stuff. I'm gonna jump down here first to check this area. Mostly just a bomb refilling spot. Getting nothing. It's probably because it was just holding this enemy here. Well, it's nice that I can get hearts whenever I want to. The safest way of doing this is to just refill stuff, by the way, and also there's another trap that prevents us from going anywhere else, but if we know where it is. What I also like about it is it won't actually explode until you do it later. There we go, that's the second part of the puzzle. Meaning we don't even have to fight that jerk Bokoblin at all, we could just skip him. This is the part I mentioned, by the way, in the Flame Temple that stumped me for the longest time, because I did not know that you had to actually run in and kill those, destroy those 2 barricades. They were like I saw them as like really blocked off for some strange reason, and I don't like that for that reason. Oh, there's nothing there. I should have just checked the map earlier. Now, the map does reveal a small hint as to where to locate if you were to get that, and that's your intended way of knowing that that's accessible, but who has time for that when you just can figure out the puzzle yourself? Yep. Won't let me jump down. Switch to the beetle. The longer beetle sections in the entitled game. Still won't have access to the quick beetle until much later. Once we do, though, it will make at least the end game of this 100% run a lot quicker. It's arguably one of the better things to get to as an upgrade. I like how they just run away from you when do that as if they're afraid of the beetle when clearly they're not. One of the longer ones in the game, that's for sure. But we were able to defeat it again. This one I'm gonna ignore, by the way. I'm not as worried about this area. I'm just gonna jump down here, take a save point. Gets really annoying when they block the same direction over and over again. That's a thing they could do. Alright. Yep. Just a little bit of a warning to you all, by the way. My finger or whatever, or left thumb, whatever, recently had a hurt injury for some strange reason, and I don't know why. It's very obnoxious, so if you see me stop a little bit or I am in pain, that's because nothing happened at work. Nothing I can really talk about. Oh, there's that troll thing again. And I can't even get rid of it this time because, okay, well, it just ends after one heart anyway. You see, normally we'd be able to roll that, but we can't. Okay, looks like they almost always drop a heart, thank goodness. Of course, picking it up is the hardest part. Nice fight there. When he gives you the right RNG, it's not as bad as it could be. There was hearts right there anyways if I took any damage. And yes, before I did used to take damage from them like almost all the time, but attacking SotH's angle, particularly from the right for some reason, seems to work the best. I did not jump down myself. That is not something I would normally do. Unless they're close to me, I'm not attacking those thieves yet. Now I will. Yeah, the worst part of the keys is when they do their special troll attack, where they go just close enough to not go into your area, but also to the point where they won't actually get to your set. I see. By the way, if you miss the map, it's not really that hard to get. You can even get it before. Oh, I was joking. That was a blue bird feather. It's still good. We do need a lot of those. Some of the prizes in this are actually the same every time, like the middle vein in there, along with a couple of other random stuff in this area. Completing that will always give you hearts, and some chests are a little bit interesting, and they will always give seeds or something. When it's not that, it's completely random what actually drops from the chest. It can be either rupees or Elden ore. So all these random ones that I do, that's where I get Elden ore normally. That was close. I nearly did not put that away in time. The worst is when you just get really bad luck like that and not even find anything. Rupees are the most common thing to find. Usually you find a decent amount of rupees, but for some reason... Oh yeah, that's right. This one you have to throw so it lands on the thing. Oh wait, no wait, I have a better idea. People are probably gonna that I didn't do this sooner. You could just put it down and walk away. That's how you're intended to actually exode it. Okay, well that exploded while I was in a cutscene, so that's fine. I didn't take any damage, but it's still kind of obnoxious. Now, maybe this is the map. There's, I believe, 2 other treasures here, but... I mean, well, just 2 rare treasures. Oh, there's another one. Darn it, where is this map at? I could get... Oh, speaking of which, I realized where it is. It's probably in this other dump cave that I never checked before. This one you can throw on top of the thing and it'll get stuck like that. That's how you destroy those. Yeah. We can skip this Visivos really easily. Just walk into this door. Got really lucky that I got 2 tails right off the bat. That should be more than enough for the first upgrade of the first thing, or whatever item requires Lizard Tails. Just so you know, this is how you're intended to kill those guys in the round, using bombs. Which means you can't actually kill them normally unless you do this. Oh, he was ready for it. Okay. If you have the charged Master Sword with more damage, you can defeat those guys in one hit. Here's our map. I should have just gone into this room. There's... There we go. What I like about it is it also reveals unexplored treasure. Okay, so we already got all the treasure here now. That's just hearts, which we already have max. Yeah. A lot of those are mostly there, probably, for, well, recovery, obviously. And besides that, probably hero mode, where every single hit does you 2 damage, and weaker attacks do 1 heart of damage. There's also attacks that just take out 4 hearts. They're rare, but when they do hit, they're kind of brutal. Let's skip this. Merciful-san. They don't seem to attack as aggressively as the other areas. There's one enemy later that might actually attack more aggressively, but as long as they're not attacking them directly, it seems like it'll be fine. And yes, I did get stuck on this entire dungeon puzzle for a while. Actually kind of spent like nearly 2 or 3 hours in here before I finally figured it out. It was obnoxious, to say the least. So this one, the trap for it is kind of interesting. At first it seems pretty straightforward, just avoid the boulders, reach each individual mark, and then head up the area and you can easily make it up both slopes. And in between one of them you can head over here. Which is actually required, funnily enough, because there's a one of those chest fiends located here. Oh wait, that's not what it's here for. I forgot. You have to just throw it down in here like this. It has to be in a very specific spot though. I think the initial idea was to let it land on the crack there, which is probably why they did that. And then that usually goes up. There we go, see, we did that. Okay, what move actually causes me to jump? It's A, of course it's A. Oh, and using A will also cause us to do a jump attack. So that's how we side up. I was thinking something weird was happening when I was pressing our buttons trying to get that and just never got it. Now I know. Dodge with A, not B. Darn it, I just fell down like an idiot. I got the first time you do it, they trigger some of the boulders as a fake. And then right as you come back up. Okay, nice. Alright, a fire lava blocks passage here. I'm gonna do my pouch thing to put away just to make sure I actually don't accidentally pull out my shield during this next section again, and then I'll pull it right back out after we're done. This is an important save because this is our first instant death mechanic. Not a lot of people know this, but this is actually a chase sequence. With a boulder, of course. If you get crushed by it, obviously it's an instant game over, so we can't let that happen, so we have to walk up, get the key, and show you the cutscene first and then start running. The actual setup is pretty straightforward though. You can just hold down and you'll make it every time. It's actually pretty straightforward, but yeah. But yeah, Link, there you go, Link became Indiana Jones for like a split second or two, and now we are able to go into the boss. I'll still save, but I'm not sure if I needed this boss fight. It's very straightforward, if not the easiest boss in the entire game, as far as I know. I like how they have to make that close a second time just to further draw in the suspense. And This one, you turn it so the dragon's head is facing right. That's basically who for that, and that allows you to insert it in properly. I do like these puzzles. They do make the boss keys a bit more interesting to use, but it's still not easy to use per se. Oh, and in some other games, you can just get into the door directly and not even have to get the boss key if you use glitches. This game, strangely, does not have any boss keys skips, as it's called, so you have to get all the boss keys manually for the most part. That's just a regular boulder trigger. That won't actually do anything as far as we know. At least from what I've heard, it's not an instant death. Master, I detect Zelda's aura in the surrounding area. I detect a sexually strong reaction for this tank. I calculate the probability Zelda was bound to it recently at 95%. If Zelda was somehow able to escape and proceed along this path, I suggest we continue with all possible speed. And here's Gearyham again, or Sneeryham, whatever it is. Let me see. No, that's not it. This is so very embarrassing, but I seem to be at a loss for a name. Not that it matters, really. To tell you the truth, I'm feeling a bit frustrated. Right now, I just need someone to vent to. I heard my underlings have finally captured a spirit maiden, so of course I rushed over here. What could I say? I was excited, flustered even. But when did I find I lied? The agent of the goddess. She had once again, you see what I'm trying to say is, that goddess-serving dog escaped with the girl. He's talking about Impa. I must have the spirit maiden in order to resurrect my master. I must have her. I got a little carried away there, didn't I? I don't deal well with complications to plans I've laid out so carefully. It's a character flaw of mine. Something good could still come from this day. I've had this piled up anger slowly inside me, and now I can release it. There's someone special I'd like you to meet. Oh, don't be shy. I need to vent all this unhealthy anger, and your agony is such a great stress reliever. It won't take more than a few moments with my friend before you're tried to a satisfying crypts. And let me tell you, that would put a spring into my step. So this boulder actually turns into a monster. Pyroclastic Fiend Scaldera, who is surprisingly easy. For the first bit, you just have to throw a bomb into his vein or whatever. That causes him to roll down the area. Then he will open his mouth, in which you can then throw another bomb at him to make him vulnerable. First time it's kind of tricky to KO him. If you wait a little bit, he'll cool down and you can hit him again. Easy. Sometimes he'll do that attack immediately for some strange reason. We don't know why. That actually kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Darn it. Almost got him too. But we are out of bounds, so we require more. We'll have to head back up. This means we'll have to dodge some attacks. That's when he actually becomes a little bit more annoying. But we have all these hearts here, so we'll be perfectly fine. Just gonna be a bit obnoxious, because if he does use his special attack on him, we'll actually have to dodge it properly this time. That's what makes him pretty brutal. And yeah, so basically run until he hits one of the bombs and then automatically fall down, where he'll then seek to do other stuff. Okay, I need to stop this. Oh, and every front act he'll just do fireballs in multiple spots. When he gets hit by a boulder, he'll move in one random direction. Either for the middle or to the left or right. Got him. See, told you, easy fight. It is possible to skip the cycle where he goes if you do a lot of Skyward strikes, but I'm still pretty new to the strategy, so I did miss a couple of them. You also will generally take them out faster later on in the game, which is kind of a hint to something that is to come, but yeah, just because of all the health up there, this guy is the easiest boss ever, really. If you do a good enough strategy, you can just finish him off without even having to hit him once. Refill your bombs, I mean, once. I find it annoying, though, that we couldn't clear him out with all of our bombs. So anyways, the way is revealed. So now we actually see Zelda for the first time in a while since we came here. Yoshi. You cannot go to him, Your Grace. Remember what we discussed? Restrain yourself. Focus on the task at hand. I have to go. I'm sorry, Yoshi. Are we gonna get discussed on what's happening, or why are we doing Impa? Yeah, Impa's kinda just leaving too, Oh. Now I see. It took you far too long to get here. Looking at you, I fear the goddess is mistaken in her choice of agents. If this failure is any indication, you have no hope of defending your grace from those who seek to assail her. Do my words anger you, boy? Do my words stain? Let them. If I had not come when I did, you, Zelda, would have already fallen into the hands of the enemy. The truth of it is you were late. You were late, and you failed to protect her. Zelda had to learn more of the fate in which she's destined to play a part. Listen, Chosen One, if you wish to be of help to her grace, you must summon a shred of courage and face the trials lay out before you. Only when you've conquered the trials will you be of use to Zelda, no sooner. Am I understood? Well, that references the second part of the game that we have to do still, which will take a little while to get to. Yeah. No goddess cubes this time. I find it kind of trolly that there was a goddess cube behind the area at one point, but just to show you, nothing but fairies this time. Alright. Master, I have a message written in the language of the gods of old. Allow me to translate for you. From the edge of the time I guide you, the one destined to carry out the goddess's mission. The spirit maiden who descended from the clouds has passed through the earth spring and makes her way to this aided place. The parched desert of Lanyu, that is where the chosen will pass through the gate of time into a distant world. And we get the third tablet here. With the same text as before. So let's just skip it now. Zelda's looking back at Link. There's only a few more treasures to go and we'll probably be done with all of them. The last treasure we'll end up getting is probably the Dusk Relics, which is where tricky things will happen. Alright, let's go to the sky. I should probably have gone there a bit earlier, but whatever. Alright. So, just like before, we have to place it in the tablet. If we are nearby any chests, we will probably go for them now. I was wondering when there was no chest available. Oh, one of them's actually right on the same island as Bamboo Island. I guess I'll go there first, since I'm right there anyway. That will be, of course, on top of the island. Or somewhere else, I don't know. If I... Oh, this is quite an interesting, option there. Okay. Yeah, returning to Bamboo Island for a change. It's worth 300 rupees. We got our item worth 300 rupees. Don't tell anyone about that, by the way. Well, I already told a few people about it. Little does the game know I'm recording this, so yeah. Too bad for it. And yes, just so you know, the reason why I have so many rupees right now is because I played the mining game again on the hardest difficulty, of course, since that's the only one that really grants you a lot of rupees quickly. I'm gonna dive right next to the statue so that we supposedly spawn there. That's a manipulation you can do, which makes traveling to it not as long. So we can go right in here and place it. Place this to trigger the third area to spawn, but we'll probably head into it next video since it won't be completable right away. That area is where things are gonna start getting a little bit longer. Again, we have to go into that area as fast as possible since we can't get any other treasures until we do that. I've confirmed the location of a third opening in the cloud barrier in the sky to southwest. It'll allow you to reach a new area on the surface. I suggest going there as soon as you're suitably prepared. And I just realized something. If an item you're trying to upgrade isn't in your pouch, you won't actually be able to upgrade it right away. So I'll have to take out some other stuff. Now we have a decent amount of items, so let's go back and see what items we can upgrade as well as other stuff. Oh, and more importantly, okay, our third shield isn't ready. We'll probably not buy that until later. We can also fix our shield, but that costs a decent amount of money, and upgrading it is probably better. Okay, so we only need 2 items to finish that, so it's almost good. Okay, that one will be gotten as soon as we get into Lanryu, and this one we cannot upgrade still. Alright. Alright. These are all the items we can upgrade right now, by the way. So, as you can see, you can also upgrade the seed items as well. They are not as bad to upgrade, but we will not actually upgrade them a bit because the main thing I want is this, because we need that. So sure enough, we need at least 1 ornament skull. Our ornament skulls are running kind of low. That's bad to know because we'll have to go back and kill some bokoblins at some point, but we can find a ton in the Alden region, so I'm not too worried about that. I'm gonna actually potentially just keep this spout size, or rather, well, I will have my normal setup. But this time I'm gonna do things a bit differently. I'm gonna have a small bound bag, shield in front, and 2 oceans. Oh, I guess one thing I need to check, can I actually upgrade these now? Welcome to my humble little side business over here. I may as well show this off. I infuse a potion my wife sells with new ingredients to increase their power. It's nothing really, just something I do. Well, do you have any potions you want to infuse? Yes. These require the bugs from earlier, but we already collected a lot, so we can actually infuse them. So we'll just go ahead and infuse 1 for now. You do not require the ability to infuse them all, by the way. All you have to do is infuse 1 of each. We may as well probably show all their upgrades though anyway, but a lot of the other potions are quite useless, at least early on. And yes, that's where you use your bugs to infuse potions. Now, I believe some of them do gain permanent effects later, but I'm not gonna go for any of those until later. Oh yeah, that's right, we need to go to Beetle, but we'll not do it right now. So I'll see you guys later in the next episode. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Bye!